Hi, it's me, Heather D. And you're watching Dishing with me, Heather D. And tonight's video is all about donuts. I've had so many requests on how I'm going to make these donuts and when am I going to do a video. So, for those of you who have been waiting and wanting me to do this video for the longest, guess what? Tonight is the night. And I'm going to show how I'm going to get my kids involved. Because we're going to have some crazy shaped donuts as well. I'm going to let my kids make their own shaped donuts before I fry them. And we're going to see how they come out and how they taste afterwards. Which we already know they're going to taste good. I'm going to do the traditional circle and the twist. But, you know, this is a fun activity that you can get your kids involved with. So, just stay tuned and watch and see how we get this all together. Okay, so the ingredients that we need for tonight is vanilla, sugar, salt. I have some milk, and I have some coconut oil, 4 tablespoons of butter, 1 egg, fast-acting yeast, 3 cups of my all-purpose, unbleached all-purpose flour, my King Arthur. And that is all we're going to need for tonight's video and for the ingredients for making our donuts. Now, to make this vegan, you can omit the egg by using only coconut oil, and you can omit using regular milk by adding almond milk or soy milk, and I have done it and it really works well. And also with the butter, the oil will replace it. Using coconut oil can replace the butter. As far as the egg, you would want to use probably about a teaspoon of flaxseed, ground flaxseed, along with some coconut oil mixed with your flaxseed, and that'll make a good binding base for replacing your egg. And that way this whole your whole donut recipe will be vegan, and you don't have to worry about using, you know, any animal products. All right, let's get started and getting this put together. Okay, to my milk, I'm going to add a pinch of sugar, and this is just going to help with the yeast. The milk is already at a nice warm temperature of about 110 degrees, 105, 110, and that will help keep the yeast from scorching and killing it, but it's also going to help with making it rise and bubble to the consistency that we're looking for. So I'm just going to mix that all together with my milk, and the recipe will be posted on my Facebook and Instagram pages, and you'll also see it at the end of the video as well. So I'm just going to mix this up, and I'm going to let this sit about a good 15 minutes. Okay, so this is where the fun begins, and this is where your KitchenAid mixer comes in handy. Now, if you have a KitchenAid mixer, that is wonderful, but if not, you're going to have to do a little elbow grease. But we're going to start out by adding our yeast and our milk into the bowl, and as you can see, it had a nice little frothiness on top, and I'm going to put this on a low speed. Well, it's supposed to be low. Okay. Then we're going to add our egg. And like I said, the ingredients will be posted at the end of the video, and it will also be on my Facebook and Instagram pages. I'm adding my sugar, and I'm adding my salt, and some vanilla. Now, this is also the perfect time for you to add whatever flavor you want. If you wanted to make these into sweet potato donuts, you can add your 1/4 cup of already cooked mashed sweet potatoes. And if you wanted to add a little bit of chocolate, you can make these chocolate donuts. You can make these whatever donut flavor you want them to be. Right, adding it to this liquid mixture. Now I'm also adding my butter and my coconut oil. My coconut oil was melted in the microwave for about 10 seconds. And this is just to get it to the right consistency and melt it down so that way it can all mix up. I'm going to speed this up a little bit, get this all incorporated before I add my dry ingredients. Now that I have this on a low speed, I'm going to slowly incorporate my flour. And this is going to all come together and knead. And I'm going to have it go after I incorporate my flour. And I'm going to probably leave about a 1/4 cup out just for kneading the dough when it's time for us to mold our donuts. And see how it come together? add a little bit more. I'm going to leave a little bit of flour inside the bowl, like I said, and this will be for our donuts at the end when it's time for us to shape them up as we want. And I'm just going to let this knead for about a good 5 to 7 minutes. Add a little bit more. And we got some left. And we're just going to let this go. And you also want to stop it to use a good spatula and actually scrape down the sides. So that way it can all incorporate together. This is why the stand mixer is really good for that elbow grease. Okay, now we're going to continue. Okay, as you can see, the dough is starting to stick to my pin, not my pin, but my paddle here. And all I have to do is just pull it away. And I'm going to let this rise after I pull it off the paddle. And this is going to rise for about a good hour, 45 minutes to an hour. And we're going to see how big it turns out. Okay, I pulled it off the paddle. And this is how our dough looks. So it has enough oil in it. You can spray around the sides and then cover it up and put it in a warm spot, so that way this can rise. And that is exactly what I'm about to do. So I'm going to get some of my, just a little bit of vegetable oil, and I'm just going to do a light squirt, so that way it doesn't stick. And this is going to get covered up with plastic, and we're going to let this rise for 45 minutes to an hour. And so after about an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes, because I had to step away and run a quick errand, this is what the dough looks like. So now it's starting to deflate, and we're going to run it through the kneading process one more time. And we're going to end up molding it and start shaping it in the form we want it to be. And then once we shape it, then we're going to let them rise again. And that's when we'll start frying these babies up. Okay, about to connect it to our handy dandy KitchenAid and get this going. Okay. Wow, look at it. Had to catch yourself. Now it's sticking to my paddle. I'm gonna have to pull this off, use a spatula, let this knead a little bit. But this is gonna knead for about 5 minutes. Oh, probably won't need the spatula. Okay, so it has been 5 minutes and it started gathering around the paddle. And that is the texture we are looking for. So now we're about to get it into our spots. Because of the time that we are doing these donuts, unfortunately, 2 of the 3 kids are sleeping and they are tired. So the person that will be working with me tonight is my daughter, which is also my camera person. And we will be doing our donuts, and I will be saving some dough and freezing the rest of it for the boys. When they are awake and they are ready, I will record them making their shaped donuts when they're ready. Okay, I'm about to get this all together, and just stay tuned as I move this along. Okay, thank you for joining me again with Dishing with me, Heather D. And I'm going to scoot this lamp out the way. Didn't realize it was right in view. Ooh. Okay, so now we're about to start on our dough forming for our donuts. And I have a freezer bag here and another little handy storage bag, because like I mentioned earlier, 2 of the people that's supposed to be in this video, they're sleeping due to the timing of me making this video. So I'm going to go and wash up my hands real quick, and I'm going to split the dough, and my sidekick daughter here, she is going to assist me. She's going to form her donuts, and I'm going to form mine, and the rest of the dough will be saved for the boys once they wake up at another day. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, so here we go. Alright, so I'm going to take this dough. First, I'm going to get this last little bit of flour here, sprinkle it on her area, then I'm going to sprinkle some flour on my area. And that's the leftover flour that I have from when I make my dough. Yeah, you can spread it out some. And this is quite a bit. See how big it is? Wow. There you go. Put this to the side. That'll get washed later. And I'm going to cut out her portion.
So it doesn't stick to my hands?
Yeah. So what she did is she kind of powdered up her fingers some so that the dough does not stick to her hands, her fingers. And this is her portion. And I'm going to cut out me a portion here.
Start kneading?
Yes. Well, not really kneading it. You're going to roll it out. I'm going to get, forgot my rolling pin. And rest of this dough here, I'm going to cut off a little bit more.
It smells so good.
It smells really nice.
It's like slime.
It's nice and sweet yeast. Has that sweetness smell. So I'm going to put my dough inside of here.
It's like that.
And it's no different than if you bought your dough from the store. When you have your dough, like your bread dough, and then all you have to do is just let it rise. Once you thaw it out, roll it out and use it however you want. Then I'm going to roll it up in here. I will label this later. But I am going to put this in the refrigerator because I don't want it to start rising in the bag. Oh, and I'm going to get my rolling pin.
This is so soothing.
Here you go. And I have my little donut holes here. My donut cutters. Put my, this can go over here. And I'm going to roll it inside the flour.
I can feel the air bubble.
Yes. Nice and light. Do you need to use? And under each of our cookie sheets, I have a towel, like a washcloth. Not washcloth, a dish towel that has been dampened, so that way it does not move around as we're rolling it out.
It's so soft.
Yeah. And I'm just going to roll this out.
I like this job. I want to be those type of people that know.
Oh, I thought you wanted to be a fashion designer.
I do. Bonus job.
Bonus job.
So soft.
Okay. You want to roll it out? What you going to do with yours?
Try to make a cat.
She's going to try to make a cat with hers. So I'm just going to do my circles.
Got chapstick in my mouth.
And as you can see, they're kind of flat and skinny. I'll get a little bit closer. This is how... and I just lost it. Blooper. Okay. So. This. I'll try this again.
It fell near the dog.
Yeah, my little stuffed animal here. This is how the donut looks. And we're going to let these rise for about a good 15-20 minutes. She's going to let her shape rise of her cat that she's going to try to mold. And we'll be right back as far as showing how our shapes look afterward. Okay, so I'm going to show you the method of how we're going to do the twisted donuts. And what you want to do is you want to get a piece of the dough and you want to roll it out as thin as possible. My daughter is working on her little cat one. And the whole idea is, if you want to make them how, depending on how big you want to make your little donut twist. This is going to be kind of small, so I twist it and roll it. I roll it out, and this is probably about a good 8 inches long. So then you want to twist it in the opposite direction. This hand going forward while the other hand is going backward. And when you do that, you should see like a little spiral in the middle. And when you bring it together, it'll automatically twist, making this little twisty donut. Now I'm not that close, and I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to try to come a little bit closer.
I give up. I'm going to stick to my classic.
She's going to her classic. So after, then I'm going to twist it. I'm going to get a little bit closer so you can see. Hopefully not. So you want to twist it in the opposite direction with both sides and kind of bring it together. And they should come up to something like a twist like this. And then you just let them sit to the side. This is a messed up one. I'm going to try and see if I could go for another one. Going to roll this out. So, going to twist it. Roll it out again.
This is like Play-Doh.
Yeah, it's like soft Play-Doh. Roll it. Twist. Opposite directions. Bring it together. And it should automatically want to rope around and form the little donut twist. And we're going to continue working on these. And we'll be right back. So this is what I have. I have a couple of elephant ears here. Have some donuts here. A few donut holes and some donut twists. And then my daughter has some elephant ears formed, some donut holes, and her little kitty faces or her kitty shaped heads for her donut. So we're going to let these cover up, and I'm going to put them in the oven to rise. And we're going to wait about 15-20 minutes before we start frying them. For the glaze, I'm going to have some powdered sugar, and this is about 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla because I just want a little bit of the flavoring. And I'm going to add a little bit of milk, not much at all, and you can use almond milk for this recipe if you want. And I'm just using a little bit, and I'm just going to mix this all together, and this should come together for a nice glaze. Now, all of it is not getting a glaze. My daughter, she's doing sugar and cinnamon mix for hers. So just going to go ahead and mix this up. And our donuts is still proofing in the oven, getting all fluffy. And I'll show you how I put that in the oil. I have my oil heating up while it's proofing. And they should be ready to go in the oil in just another minute or two. Just going to stir this up, and then I'm going to cover it up with the plastic that I have on the side, and going to let that sit and rest. Okay, we have our brown sugar cinnamon mix that sugar and cinnamon mix that my daughter wants, and here's the glaze. Now it's time to pull those babies out the oven. Let's see. Woo, look, they've puffed up quite a bit. Quite a bit. So, okay, so my daughter's going to attempt. She's going to do one of her elephant ears first. And I'm supervising her because I told her if she gets scared, don't drop it in. You don't drop it in. And seems like my oil is not quite ready yet. But then again, let's try to open this up. Then again, I think it is ready. All right. So I'm going to show you how you're supposed to put your donuts into the oil. So whatever you have, you just go ahead and lay it in there without it splattering. And we're going to let those get brown. Her elephant ears.
Thanks for the late tip.
So her elephant ears have gotten a little browner. And I'm going to pull them out because we don't want them to end up tasting too greasy. And that's another thing. When you let your goods fry up too long, they'll absorb the oil and it won't taste right. So I'll stick these to the side. We want our donuts and our pastries to be nice and light. So now we're going to let those drain for a little bit. And she's going to put in her little kitties that she made there.
If I can.
Scoot to the side. Let's swap spots.
Don't drop the hot oil on me.
Sorry.
No. You put on the kitty.
Oops, I'm sorry.
No.
Blooper. So we're just going to go ahead and pick it up and place it in the oil like that. Don't do this at home. Do not copy this. I'm kind of a trained professional. But those are her kitty. And we're going to see how her little kitty donuts turn out. Pop them in. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to let her do her little donut holes. They're going to cook with the kittens. Put those 3 on there. And then you stick it in there and let them slide off. And they'll be puffing up. Only thing with donut holes, you have to flip these mugs, or they'll only get brown on one side, and that's what we don't want. So you gotta work with donut holes, or they will just brown.
They don't look like cats anymore.
Yeah, look like they lost their ears a little bit. Oh, okay. See, they still got a little bit of a cat shape.
Nubs.
Let's flip over these donuts. Constantly flip them. We don't want them to. Come on. No. You gotta get brown on both sides. Now that's a technique I haven't quite learned how to master. Doing these donut holes where I can get them flipped over and they can get brown on both sides. And stay flipped over. Flip over, flip over, flip over. No! Technical difficulties of flipping donut holes. Okay, I think I got them. Got one. Get on, flipped over. Oh, I keep flipping back over. The weight. Let's see if I get that one flipped over. Flip over. This is a challenge, I tell you. Okay, I think her donuts. Okay, her kitties are ready to come out. Yay. Pull it up. And then she'll be ready to frost these or powder sugar them up how she wants. And I'll let her use the little net thing. Gotta hold this one down because these donut holes are about ready to come out. And I'm going to go ahead and let her use the net to pull out the rest of hers. Go ahead.
It's like the chicken at the Chinese buffet.
Yeah, almost. Now my daughter is 13, so she is old enough to be around the heat, but it's always good to have supervision when you're dealing with hot oils and anything in the kitchen with your child. So she's going to attempt to do her last elephant ear. Just pick it up. It'll spread out. Don't plop it. That's something you never do.
You don't want to plop it. It's slipped off.
You don't want to plop your things in the oil.
It looks like a nose.
And elephant ears turn into whatever shape you want them. Whether you want them to be that shape or not.
An elephant.
Okay,
nose.
now let's finish up. So now she's starting to add her sugar and cinnamon on top of her little donuts that she made. She's doing her kitty first. And I'm watching her elephant ear, her last one. May have enough on there. Time to see how it tastes.
Trying to make sure it gets some out.
Oh, she's trying to get all the little corners and crevices.
Yeah.
Oh, look at her little kitty donut. It is so
now.
cute. Yeah, you could try it. Let's see how she likes it.
I don't want to bite off.
Just go. Mmm. It's good. Let's see how nice it looks on the inside. Oh, break it open so we can see the moist. Look. Oh, yeah.
I'm killing the cat.
You're killing the cat. It's going to get killed in our stomachs.
It's hard.
And that is fully done.
I need a fork.
Now, to finish up. Now it's time for me to do my little donuts. And there I go. But I'm not really caring about how they just got to be careful. I'm poking and deflating my donuts. Ooh, boy. And a little fluff up. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. I'm just going to kind of stir, push them around. These donuts, I kind of messed them up a little bit, but I'm going to flip them. Aha, look how nice they turning. Golden brown. And you just want to flip them. And like I said, you let them go for like good 2 or 3 minutes on each side. And they'll come out perfect. You don't want it to stay too long on one side because then they won't flip. But you want that golden color like that. And then mine will be ready to go into some nice glaze. A little bit. Our first batch kind of messed up, so we are doing a second batch. You want to make sure you get them cooking at least 2 minutes on each side. Get them golden brown like this, so that way all you got to do is put your glaze. I'm about to do these little donut holes. Try to watch this and see if I could get these to flip like they're supposed to and not wait too long. And I'm going to pull my donuts out, at least these. My little twists are not quite ready, but they will be in a few. Let me flip these donuts over, these little holes. When you start, those not ready. When you make these on a regular, it becomes a little easier. This one is ready. Let it drain. Let that go a couple more seconds. Try to flip over my donut holes. Oh, come on. There I go. Technical difficulties.
You're going to use
with
the
the
little
donut.
bit of powder that I have left.
No, I'm going to do all glaze with my batch. Okay? Now to pull out my
You want to taste?
donut twist. And I have these donut holes left. And they look like little potatoes, but they're donut holes. And they are done. And I'm going to finish it up with these little, supposed to be elephant ears. And what's left of this twist. Oh, always technical difficulties. Okay, I'm going to glaze these babies up and, yeah, we're going to go from there. Okay, so my daughter has her little collection of donuts completed. This is her little kitten donut, and that one looked like a foot, so I'm not for sure what shape that was actually supposed to be. It's supposed to be an elephant ear. She has brown sugar and cinnamon on hers, and mine are glazed, are going to be glazed. So this is the glaze that I made earlier, and I'm just going to roll my donut around in it, or my little twist, and of course mine got a little bit deformed as well. But it is the taste that counts. I'm just going to plate that. Glaze this little elephant ear. What's supposed to have been an elephant ear. And they probably really don't get glazes. They probably do more like the powdered sugar, cinnamon, the cinnamon and sugar and whatever else toppings that you like to put on yours. But we are at home and these are homemade. Put that here, and I'm gonna do a couple of my little deformed like donuts. Just gonna flip them over. Part of the deformity came because I was waiting for my daughter. She was still doing her donuts, and so mine sat in a little bit longer than they were supposed to in the oil, but they still light and fluffy. All right. Now the taste. Okay, so this is my collection of glazed donuts, and as you can see, the glaze and the donut came out pretty good. They're a little bit on the deformed side, but now we're going to do a taste test. It came out perfect. A little bit of a crunch on the outside. Nice and moist on the inside. They're fully cooked. Perfect. With tea, coffee, whatever you like. Milk, ice cream. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video that my daughter and I did together. The recipe will be at the end of the video, as well as how we did the glaze and the cinnamon sugar, which is really easy. But this is a fun activity for you to do with your kids, as far as changing up the shapes instead of doing the traditional circle and even shapes. Oh, light and fluffy. So if you like this video, click like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you share this video, especially with your friends and family, relatives. Well, family is relatives, I'm sorry. Share this with anybody that you think might enjoy this video, because homemade donuts, so delicious. Well, thank you for watching, and have a great evening.